Turn off air. Okay. Let's try this again. We can't seem to find that page. Okay. Now Mafia wants to come in. Come on. Okay, I'm trying to get what I need to get to get into this interview.
Awesome. Oh, look clear. Okay.
Hello.
Before I yet, I'm about to change this background setting. But you ready to do this thing here?
Yes. Ready for the interview.
All right, 1 second. Let me get these videos. Oh, no. All right, here we go. Change design. Okay. And let me get our social media stuff ready. Display title. Regina Miller talk show.
Yes.
Okay, Regina Miller talk show. Can you see that at the top as well?
No, I can't see anything.
Okay, you will, because once I download it, you'll see everything. Presenter details. I'm gonna put me name, house, and then you name. Gina Miller. Alrighty. And this one, I got one more thing to do. We good. YouTube. Hit the good. Edit. All right, so let me hit apply. So we got everything we need. And are you ready? Let me turn on.
You look fantastic. Bombastic.
I'm trying to make sure this light
Come
ain't too
on.
much. Alrighty, so, and we are about to go live, all right? So you ready?
Yes.
Start event. It's loading, so I'll let you know we're live. And we are live. It's on you.
Hello and welcome to the Regina Miller Show. We are so glad that we finally made it here. Today we'll be talking about how I made it from welfare to self-employment. It's definitely something the world needs to hear in 2023 as we have so many entrepreneurs that are coming alive and they need all of the help that they can get, the new generation of business people. So thank goodness for YouTube. My host to my left of me
Yes.
and my absolutely amazing daughter, because I couldn't be here without her. And the Lord, of course, we're going to put him first. So we're going to get right into it. Introduce yourself. I mean, is that something you are interested in as my host with the most?
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's going on, everyone? I'm Donnell Miles. I'm going to be the co-host for the Regina Miller Talk Show, and we are beyond excited to have you guys here. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how my mother, Regina Miller, went from unemployed to self-employed. Are you ready to get into it?
Yes. No
All
time
right.
to
So
waste.
to start things off, let everyone know what it was like growing up to be Regina Miller. Just before we get into the just of unemployed to self-employed, just let us know what it was like growing up to be you.
Growing up to be me was exactly, in a short story and a short sentence, who I am today. I just learned that who I was at a very young age, and everything I'm doing today was who I was as a child. I was sneaking from Brooklyn. They wanted to play handball in the park. I was sneaking on the train to go to Manhattan to see the business people. I wanted to see the world moving. The world, downtown Manhattan is a vibe. I didn't want to play handball. I'm that same girl today. I'm chasing my dreams. I'm living out my dreams. And that's my answer for that.
Absolutely. So you walk us through the journey from going to unemployed. Like, how did you get to a state where you filed for unemployment? Can you kind of take us 3 years
You
back
mean
from
welfare?
Oh, welfare. Yes, welfare.
Yes. Well, I became a single mom and I was a teen mom at the same time. And in New York, they help you with welfare. I mean, so I said, hey, I'm not going to let my pride stop me from taking care of my kids. But I knew that I wanted to max out the system. And when I say max out the system, I mean, I was going to get every benefit that they gave me to get off of welfare. You know, I knew when I went on it, I wasn't going to stay because they was only giving me $200 a month. I mean, I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it was the benefits. It's like the military. You don't get paid a lot, but the benefits are good, right? So I maxed out the benefits. And that got me an education. I was able to go to beauty school. All I had to pay was $800 to go to beauty school because I was a part of that system that had a program for young mothers like me to get off welfare. So they gave me benefits, and they gave me benefits, and they gave me a lot of things like childcare vouchers and everything that I needed. Like I said, those side things that welfare comes with, I took advantage of and went to beauty school. I didn't just want to be a person that went to beauty school. I knew in order to be a single mom, I had to be a businesswoman because that would have gave me free time to do things with you and your sister, and just try to be involved in my kids' life to the point where I'm scared because I'm a single parent, so I need time. And so being a boss gave me time. So when I went to beauty
Okay.
school, I knew I had a plan to I wanted to open up a braid salon first, but going to beauty school, I realized that I could do everything along with braiding. So I just decided to open a whole salon where I could have braiding and everything all in one.
Okay, so going back, you kind of hit on the question that I had next. What exactly were the benefits? But you just explained that in very great detail. So my question for you is, were those benefits told to you from your parents? Who told you about these benefits? Because you got to think about it, at what age were you on welfare? So for you to say right now that you benefits. That's remarkable because you were, let everyone know what age you were at that time, and how did you know about these things? Was it from your parents? Was it from the school or whatever?
Yeah, well, it was from me because my parents never were on welfare, and that's one reason why I got off. Because I asked my dad, I said, "Were you on welfare, Dad?" He said, "No, and you're not going to be on it either." He said, "We're just going to get you to where you need to be from it." Okay, so I, knew that I wasn't going to be on it forever. I talk to, they have counselors, they'll tell you what's available to you. I knew what I wanted. At the time, I had nothing. All I had was 2 kids, and I had a life, I had great parents. I had a great community. I had a great village, which was my mother and father, and my sisters at the time. And so I was, you talking 14, I started having kids. I was married in the 10th grade. You understand what I'm saying? So my life was pretty fast, and I went from, just having a marriage because I got married, but just having a marriage to now I have to take care of these kids by myself. I didn't have pride. I got to take care of my kids. So with the counselor they give you the information, what they can do for you. I wanted to go to school and take a trade so that I could take care of my kids and be a boss. Beauty school was it. And so with beauty school, they told me, I said, well, hey, how is my kids going to be? I need to know. So I waited. I did hair in the house, and I waited until my daughters were 5 and 6 years old to go to kindergarten, which is the legal age to go to school. So before then, I'm braiding in the house. I'm doing hair in the house. I'm making $1,000 pretty much a day in the house, braiding. Okay, so I knew my dad came to me and he said, daughter, no more braiding in the house, no more nothing in the house. He said, it's time for you to break out into that school. And he said, the world needs to see you. The world can't see you in the house. He said, it's hair in the shower. It's no matter how we clean, it's just hair everywhere. He was just like, daughter, it's time for you to elevate.
Okay, so before we get into that, I want to ask you, how important is it or can you speak a little bit on how it was growing up in the aspect of being an entrepreneur or becoming an entrepreneur, having 2 parents? Because I hear you mention, my grandfather and my grandmother were a detrimental part in pivoting your career and directing you into the ways that you have gone. So
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Let them know about the entrepreneurship of your father and your mom just a little bit, and then just
Okay.
how important it was in your life growing up to have both parents and help you.
Oh, praise God, and God let them rest right now. They're both with the Lord. But they taught me everything I know. My dad was a businessman. He had a shoe store in Brooklyn, New York. He had a shoe store in Manhattan. Fortunately, I'm a child of a father who fought in the Vietnam. And when he came home to his family, he knew who he was. And he was a man who was born in Sumter, South Carolina, who raised his family in Brooklyn, New York. That goes to show you right there the type of father I had. Because there's nobody I know, not near a man in Sumter, South Carolina, that would have raised their family in New York from Sumter, South Carolina. If you know anything about Sumter, South Carolina and New York, you get what I'm saying. It is impossible right now for someone in the South to go north and create a life for their family. It is impossible even today. My dad did that. And he started small. I saw him start small, and I saw him enlarge with my very eyes. So I knew about elevation in life. I knew that there was levels to life. You don't have to stay where you at. You can keep moving up. He moved us from a 1-bedroom. Me and my sisters were on a let-out bed, 3 sisters. My mom and dad had the room. 1 bedroom for a very long time. He elevated from that to a 3-bedroom. He elevated to that to a brownstone. If you know anything about New York, you living in a brownstone, you got some money.
Right.
My dad did this before my eyes as a child. I was the child that saw I had my mother and my father. Unfortunately for my sisters, my dad was in the war, so the 2 oldest ones kind of didn't get what I received. From a baby, I had my mom and dad until they died. I was with them. You know what I'm saying? When my dad died, I was with him. When my mother died, I was with her. So I got the loss, but I got the gain because they left their spirits in me,
Right.
and they always was with me. You know, my dad knew I would be the person who I am today. My mother knew I would be the person who I am today. My mother spoke life over my children. So, you know, you just have to have, you know, I don't know what people need to have, but all I know is what I had is who I am,
Right. And
if that makes sense.
it's important. It's very, very important. So going into the first salon, first of all, but did you just go straight into a salon? Can you share that? Did you go straight into owning your first salon, or did you work in a salon with other people as in?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I had my booth renter days.
so you said that my grandfather said no more braiding in the house. So
That's
talk to
right.
us from that point.
I had to go to beauty school, 10 hours a day for 10 months. So, no braiding in the house. At that point, I was like, let me hurry up and finish school because I can't even, being in beauty school for 10 hours a day, coming home to my small children, I didn't even want to do nothing. But I did do one braid when I got home from beauty school just to have money because I was used to that $1,000 a day. You see what I'm saying? So that $1,000 a day got cut down to maybe like $200 to $300, depending on what I was doing, because I'm at school, so I'm getting my education, and I didn't care because I knew when I finished that beauty school, I would make all the money that I wanted to make. Long story short, the school was amazing. I had scholars in the school. Miss Smith, she loved me. I went from the school to one of the best, I thought, beauty salons in Sumter, South Carolina. And I stumbled over a few, but I will speak on the one that stood out for me the most, and that was Miss Pat Salon. You remember Miss Pat? Miss Pat was on, oh Lord, I don't want to, Broad Street, but down in there somewhere. But anyway, that is the salon that speaks to me when I feel like I want to tell the world about that experience. She was the one who welcomed Regina Miller for who I was. She was to the point where she didn't even want to deal with no more booth renters. She was in her salon, minding her business, and she really was just going to do hair in there by herself. And the Lord pushed her, nudged her, and told her, let her in. And I needed to be there because by the time I got to Miss Pat, I had already been to the worst ones. Okay. And so even I was tired. And I was like, Lord, I'm not ready for a salon yet. So financially, because I was saving my money, right? And so I knew I needed to save at least $10,000 before I attempt to do anything. So I didn't have all of it yet. And so I worked in Miss Pat's shop, and thank God for that. And that's why I preach about peace right now, even in my salon that I currently have, because with working in peace, I was able to save my money, have a sound mind, take care of my village. They took care of me. And from Miss Pat's shop, I went into my very own salon, a 1,500 square.
Welfare at the time, right?
I was done with welfare. And I'm going to talk about how I got off welfare.
No, I was saying, so once you graduated beauty school,
my dad, when I finished beauty school and I had that certificate in my hand that said I was a licensed cosmetologist, I asked my dad to go down with me to welfare and get me off that system. And so my dad said, I'll be glad to take you down there. And so we went down there, and because like I said, they was giving me $200 a month in Sumter, South Carolina. In New York, the system was a little different, but like I said, I didn't care what the money was. I just was concerned about the benefits I could get from it. And so my dad took me down there, and believe it or not, I went to get off welfare, and thank God I took my dad because they said I needed someone to sign for me saying that if something happened to my kids, they would be responsible because I'm not getting this $200 a month, right? So I said, okay. So my dad was like, "Where do you sign?" And he signed the paper, and I was free. And I asked the lady, I said, "So I'm not in your system anymore for welfare?" She said, "No." She said, "Do you want to continue getting food stamps?" I said, "Yes." Even my dad, even my dad was like, yeah, get the food stamps.
Hold up now. Right. I know that's more than 200.
Yeah, so because I was getting, a good bit of food stamps. So, and at that time I'm living with Nana and Papa. It is us, so I want to do my part. So buying food was special to me that I can do my part. And so the lady was like, "Yeah, she said you can keep the stamps." She said, "We're gonna give you the stamps because your income is not where you couldn't get them." So as I gained wealth, I had to get off the stamps. But I sure had enjoyed them. But I felt happy not being with the stamps too, because that let me know that I was leveling up and I was elevating. So every elevation, I was excited to shed that stuff. Get off me. Nope, no more food stamp. No more, what I'm saying? And it's that comes into a whole nother bracket, and that's another video. But
Absolutely. I just wanted to make sure
yeah.
we transitioning with the story, because I
Yeah.
wanted to know that at this point when you walked into Miss Pat's shop,
Yeah.
you were off welfare at this time.
Absolutely.
You were going into
Absolutely.
higher heights. So go
Yeah.
ahead with the story. I
And
apologize for that, but I just had to let them know.
yeah, and so the higher heights came when I found peace. I was in salons where I would go to lunch and come back and my station was shambled. Like somebody didn't like me and they just wanted to do bad things to me. And then I left that shop. I never stayed for them to do it a second time. And then what really got me was the last time the owner, I could see the stylist treating me bad, but when I go to the owner of the salon and I don't get no support back, and then you don't know nothing, nobody knows nothing, I said, "Lord, can I have my own salon? Can I have my own salon, Lord, where I can, treat people like I'm expecting to be treated?" Because these women were doing hair and making a whole lot of money because I didn't go to just any salon. I went to the salons where the girls was bad and they was the talk of the town, so I can be with the who's and the what's what. I'm always on that, you know what I mean? And so I'm hanging out with them thinking they gonna, pull me in, because they already making their coin. Honey, I was an intimidation. But you know what? All of y'all who will see these videos and see this, thank you. Because if I knew who I was back then, I would have did what you did. I would have tried to block me too. So yeah, but that's what happened. And so that's why I preach peace. So I got to Miss Pat. By the time I got to Miss Pat, I had peace. Miss Pat was peaceful. The atmosphere was peaceful. We had peaceful clients. You understand what I'm saying? I made my money and I was ready. I was ready to go open Agape Hair Salon and Spa. And I opened up the largest black-owned salon in Sumter, South Carolina. There was this, this guy, let me say this, it's this guy, fantastic, not, I don't know, not Fantastic Sam, but anyway, it's this guy who's in Sumter. He is Caucasian. He has what they call the largest salon spa in Sumter. I said, I'm gonna be the ethnic one, the African American one, who's doing what he's doing. He was my role model, and I never even met him. I never even met him. But I did what I said I was going to do.
Absolutely.
I did what I said I was going to do. And that's how I went from welfare to self-employment, because I never looked back. Thank God I never looked back.
And at what age was this? When you went from Miss Pat into your own salon, you said that you saved $10,000, and I seen it with my own eyes. At the age that I was at, I really didn't know what was going on, but I knew that my mama had it going on, y'all. So I really didn't know what was going on, but I knew my mama had it going on, and and it reflected in the way me and my sister acted at school. That's a whole other show. But just know, I didn't know what was going on, but I knew that my mama had it going on.
Okay.
And everybody in the city knew. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
at
Oh
what
yeah.
age?
I was respected too.
It still blows my mind, and I have these conversations with you in private. At what age did you open your first salon that was the biggest Black-owned salon in Sumter, South Carolina?
I was 22.
Yo, I thought it was 25. That's crazy.
I was 22. I went into Sumter. I didn't play no games. I worked at Gold Kiss for 2 days and I almost like died. And I told my dad, I said, I can't work at the plant. I have to own my own business. If I can't work at the plant, because when I moved to Sumter, South Carolina, it's a plant job or Walmart or McDonald's. I'm none of that, and I'm not. Praise God for all the women and mothers who work at those places, but baby, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I went to go. I tried. I got to say I tried. I tried everything, but I couldn't do it, and that's another video. And so I knew that I needed to be my own boss, or how am I going to take care of my kids? And so I was so scared to not be able to take care of y'all that I just went off. When I say go off, I mean nothing can stop me off. No man, no relationship, nothing. And I've been tried.
Now let me ask you this. At the age of 22, how different was your life than your peers that you grew up with? And I'm not saying how different as in like comparison. I'm saying at the age of 22, for you to open your own salon, and we see it a lot now, in society as society continues to change and evolve. But back at that time, you were 22 years old with your own spa. I mean, you had masseuse, you had people who did pedicures, manicures, you had
Hair.
10 stylists. Like, it was just so much going on. Vending machines. We had so many different businesses in one business.
Yeah.
At 22 years old, how different was your life than the other 22-year-olds that you saw around you? It could be family members, friends.
I was,
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
there was a lot of times where you didn't go to the family events and you didn't go to the clubs, and you had a different life. So can you talk about
did. I did. And they,
at 22 years old, what was that life like for you?
I was always older than I am. So at 22, I was 44. I was dating a man 30 years older than me. Okay. I was always spoiled. You know what I mean? If a man or whatever didn't spoil me, I spoiled myself. So having a man to do it was a plus. And I just lived a good life. Like, people invited me to places that I would say no all the time because I wanted to get back home to my kids. My thing was, I'm going to the salon and I'm going to church and I'm going to the grocery store. And that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be available. Being a salon owner is enough unavailability as it is for me back then. And you was a star basketball player. I didn't make every game. I'm trying to keep all the lights on. I got 2 light bills. I got 3 when I think about how I got to go pay my mama light bill. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm trying to, be that girl at 22.
I keep throwing that out there because I want people.
And mind you, you remember we bought a home.
Oh yeah, I was just about to get into that.
So we got a home and a salon. The pool is so big, they think I had family. I had family functions and my family coming over talk about, who pool is this? Is this the neighborhood pool or what's going on? I said, this is my house.
Well, let's get into that. Being into entrepreneurship at such an early age, you were placed in front of grand opportunities. So let's talk about the home ownership. At what age did you buy your first home? Was you presented with that opportunity, and was that also something that was shocking to you, or did you feel like you perfectly
Absolutely.
aligned?
Absolutely shocking because you were the prophet in that. Remember, we were in La Chalet Apartments. That was our first apartments and our last. And I was scared to be there, but it was the finest apartment complex in something at the time. Like it was top notch. You had to have money to live over there. Like I was always big on the fabulous life for me and my kids because first of all, I'm a hairstylist in the salon most of the time. I didn't want Johnny and Cochran and them knocking on my door talking about, I know your mama at the salon. I didn't want none of that. So, La Chalet Apartments on Alice Drive was the big dogs back then. We lived there for 6 months. And that was a transition, but we did it for 6 months. I loved it because it had all the amenities on the situation, the laundromat, all of that was there, the gym, all of that. Things that your sister loves today, I had that back then. So I think it stems around what you show and introduce your kids to what they want because y'all have fabulous taste. But anywho, so you we were look I told you and your sister, I said we the Lord has blessed us with a salon, and at that time I was doing a lot of interviewing for the salon wasn't open yet. So this is how God did this thing. I opened my salon and my home in the same week. I went in my home and I opened my salon the same week. Come on, somebody. And had no clue. We moved out of that apartment so fast. So let me back up a little bit. So my baby, we was in the paper. She's a prophet, for those of you who don't know. I'm just putting it out there now. So she was a prophet at a young age. And she said, Ma, let's get the newspaper and let's find our house. And I'm like, what? So I said, oh, okay. For me, when a child says something like that, I said, okay, let's go get the newspaper. So we got the newspaper. The house was there. You said, Ma, this one here, this is it. Let's go to the house. So we went to the house, everybody, okay? We went to the house, me and my two daughters. I had one on one hand and one on the other because you and your sister was like 6 and 7 at the time. And I'm holding y'all hand like my girls. We always did that. I had one on one hand, this on the other. We walked in that lady house. That lady said the Lord told her, don't show nobody else that house. Give that house to that woman with them 2 kids. This is over a $300,000 home in the historic district of Sumter, South Carolina. Probably more the house was probably worth more than that. Okay?
It was next to like the government. Man, it was crazy.
Okay? And
$1,000 houses, and it was crazy.
and I got it for pennies because God wanted me to have it. And that's why I live on faith today, because God has shown me favor over my life, my family. The choices I made, I truly believe that God is pleased with me for the choices that I made. And so, when you obey God, a lot of times my family say, oh, she nonchalant, or she this, or she that. I've heard the little things. I see how they look at me sometimes when I walk in rooms. It's okay. I still love them, But at the end of the day, it never bothered me because I knew who I was. I knew I wasn't going to stay long. I knew my thing when I got older, I said, this is one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do what everybody else doing. I'm not gonna do what everybody else doing. My daddy them used to go down south and everybody at my grandmother's house and we passed the hotel. I used to say, man, I can't wait till I get older. I'm going to that hotel. I'm not sitting in no room with 50 family members. Why are we doing this and my daddy can pay for a hotel room? But that's just a family traditional thing back then, and I loved it, and it kept the family together. But the whole time I'm saying, we done passed that hotel down there. Because I was always that girl. If I could have the luxury of a hotel, why would 50 of us crowd my grandmother's house? I'm going to leave my grandmother and I'm going to come to my grandma's house every day and talk to her from that hotel. You feel what I'm saying? But it don't have to be 50 grown-ups in a hotel. So things like that, those type of mentalities, I just knew that I
Okay.
didn't want to be a part of that. And in order to not do the things that are traditional all the time, you need money. And I
Absolutely.
knew that I needed God's money, the money that don't stop. See, the world money stop. I needed God's money. So I knew I needed to stay God's being God.
22 or 23.
Oh, okay. When I owned my home, I believe I was still 23 because I had the again opened. I opened a salon and I moved. We moved in our house at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how did you stay motivated and focused over, 25 years to where you're at now? What was that determination that you had within? What was it that you was telling yourself, or was it just that did it once, you could do it again, or what was it?
I don't like. I'll put it like this. You, you and your sister was my determination. Queen Victoria was my determination. Losing your sister, I was like, I have nothing else to lose. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I lost a 2 year old, so that's another video, okay? Um, but remind you, this losing a child was before all of this, okay? That was my firstborn child. So losing her let me know the pain from that. I have nothing, there's nothing else I can lose. It can't be nothing more painful, right? So then having you and your sister, and being your only parent, I knew I had nothing to lose. And, I wasn't a bitter baby mama. You know that. I never talked down about your father, none of that. If anything, I respect him before you all because that's just who I am. Like, if God delivered me to allow me to still take care of my kids, what am I mad at him for? Like, I'm not on that vibration. So, um, I guess that's why I'm blessed because I don't hold grudges. You don't know what people going through. All I'm happy about is God gave me what I needed to take care of you and your sister, and I made it through. Praise God. So
Right.
what other people dealing with, that's between them and God. You know what I'm saying? I did my part. But so
Okay.
you and your sister was my determining force. And I didn't want to be. I'm different. Today at 50, I can admit that I'm different. Okay, and I don't see competition. I don't see. I applaud people. I applaud people. I don't judge. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm just Regina Miller, and I show the world that I am Regina Miller. I'm not trying to do what nobody else do. I don't copycat, none of that. I don't even really see people. My tunnel vision is not even people. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Your
So
love for business and your passion and your drive,
yeah, yeah, I'm on a
self
whole
motivation.
yeah, I'm on a whole, that's why, and I can tap on this a little bit, like relationships, because I've had some, and that's another video. When I realized that they were not what was in my alignment of life, I got rid of them.
Absolutely.
And I'm not here to brag like, oh, I got rid of them. No, I got rid of them because you have a choice in your life how your path should be. And if somebody comes on your path and they're not on your path, you have a right to get rid of it.
Reroute.
Reroute. And it doesn't take anything from those people. It just lets you know what you want so you can keep going and you just shed some things along the way. That don't mean that the people you shed ain't right as people. They just not right for your path. And that
Absolutely.
and so I didn't let nobody get me off my path. That the devil, he tried. I done slept with the enemy. I done did all that. Okay,
Right.
but I done did all that. But I never stayed off course. You see what I'm saying? I left homes, houses, cars. Materials don't mean nothing to me. My mind means something to me. You see what I'm saying? And that's why we still going. Because I still got my mind. You see what I'm saying? And
Come on.
nothing is important, nothing is more important than your mind. and being able to produce. And that's why I don't see competition, because you can't produce what I can produce. You can't sit down and talk to me and tell me you did what I did. It's a lot of women in the world that's successful in doing stuff, and I applaud each and every one of them. But my story is my story, and I'm telling mine. So don't come on mine telling yours. Tell yours over there where yours at, because I'm just telling mine. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I definitely went from welfare to self-employment and never looked back. Took some breaks along the way. I learned a few things, and at 50, I'm still going. And I thank God for you, daughter. We're summing it up a little bit right now. I thank God for you, allowing what mother said to come to life. So I know she's patting you on your shoulder, because she said, look at that Shauna. Shauna gonna get it out of her. You know what I'm saying? Your Nana. She probably said that Shauna gonna go. We gonna see what Nana was talking about. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And but I just thank God for this platform, and any platform that you put me on, daughter, because we gonna get that platform, that hit. And this is one that I really feel very secure about, and that's YouTube. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is where it's at. And so people need people like me on YouTube, and people like you, daughter. And so I pray God everything over this, but I said I was going to always end with this. So do you have any more questions for me?
Yes, I just wanted you to let people know what they can expect from the Regina Miller Talk Show topics. Just really quick, not really going into the topics, but
Okay.
just what can they expect from the Regina Miller Show? I'm going to chop this up and make this
Okay.
your
Okay.
intro kind of sort of.
You all can expect great, real conversations. Your auntie, your sister, your cousin, your best friend, your sister will be here telling the truth and nothing but the truth. Always loving and hugging. But guess what? It's going to be mind blowing. And every story is authentic and real. Trust me, you want to be here every Thursday with me to talk real talk, business talk, family talk, testimonies. And that's what I'm giving my followers, my friends, my family, anybody who wants to move higher in life, wants to learn about the levels of life, want to see God move from a woman with testimonies. That's me. Family woman, business woman. I have a lot of hats, but and God gave them all to me, and I'm finna tell all about it. And so if you want to hear it, this is where you need to hear it. This is the spot.
All right. Go
Yes.
ahead.
And this is a commercial break. This is the Queen Victoria Miller Heart Foundation's best item to raise awareness to tetralogy of fatal heart disease, everyone. This bottle right here saves me the opportunity to save someone, gives me the opportunity to put a smile on someone else's face who went through what I went through. My daughter died of tetralogy of fatal heart disease at the age of 2 years old. So I get the opportunity to go tell another mother going through what I went that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So long story short, this bottle and the proceeds from it helps my family raise awareness to tetralogy of fatal heart disease. So if you want to know what this smells like and you just want to just try it at all, please contact me. We have bottles available all the time, and you're going to smell good, and you're going to help a cause to continue to tell the world why my daughter left my family so soon. And that is because of tetralogy of fatal heart disease. And I'm so proud to say that, because I'm always, every time I say that, I'm keeping my promise to my baby girl that I would tell the world why she left me so soon. That's it
Absolutely.
for this
So
week.
the devil is a lie. A lot of that chopped up. So we're gonna have to do it over because for some reason it didn't chop up at all. None of the show, but that towards the end, it kind of chopped up.
Okay.
So I need you to do it one more time.
Which part?
You got it. The whole, just, I
The,
want
the
you to start because
this right here?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that part.
Okay.
Right.
Well, this
1, 2, 3.
This bottle right here changes lives, and it helps my family raise awareness to tetralogy of Fallot heart disease, the disease that killed my firstborn daughter at the age of 2 years old. By purchasing this amazing scent that tilts rooms, literally, your proceeds help me help a mother who went through what I went through, but I lost my child. I like to go to the hospitals and bless mothers who still sitting by their children bedsides with baskets. And so the proceeds from this bottle helps my family do kind things like give the children teddy bears and go to the hospitals and help the mothers put a smile on their face with care packages. So if you want to bless a family by purchasing, because I'm telling you, one purchase gives me what I need to make a basket, literally. And so if you would like to know what it smells like and be smelling good and helping a family cause tetralogy of Fallot heart disease, then let us know and we'll contact you. The information is www.vmphairsalon.com. You will see the body oil link there and you can purchase, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
What is the body? What is it called?
It is called Regina Miller because I tilt rooms. And so now I have a scent that's helping me tilt rooms all over the world. And not only that, in your house, when I go to the hospitals, I smell good. Everywhere I'm smelling good. But not only am I smelling good, but I am raising awareness to tetralogy of Fallot heart disease to everyone who says, "What is that you have on?" Regina Miller signature body oil is what it is.
Absolutely, and just to kind of feedback off of that, that perfume really does smell good, you guys. I honestly like to wear cologne. Neither here or there, but I'm letting you guys know it is for anyone that wants to smell good.
Yeah.
I wear it special occasions because it's like that. Okay, if you have that perfume or that cologne that you say, I'm going on a date or I'm doing something special,
Right.
pull out the Regina Miller. I'm telling you, this, my mother's perfume, her signature perfume, as she call it, literally gets more I have a bottle of Creed. It's a $250 bottle cologne.
Right.
I got zero comments. My sister was the first person to comment on my cologne. I don't want to get compliments from my sister. Anytime I wear the Regina Miller, people will stop mid-sentence. What do you have on?
Right.
It's a mid-sentence
Yes.
stopping smell. They will stop mid-sentence. They don't care.
They
what you
follow
say,
me. They follow me around until they get to ask me, and I'm thinking, who is this following me? And they like, ma'am, I'm so sorry. What is that? You men, women, children, everybody. It's
We have
yeah.
been in an elevator, y'all, and they was like, "Who is that?" Like,
Yes.
Mid-sentence, we had when we was in Miami.
Yes.
We in the street. He's like, "I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm at work, but what do you have?" The
Yes.
janitor.
The
Don't stand up
janitor.
and stand.
He
Get
outside.
up
He outside.
there. We outside. There's many different smells. He like, no, it's you.
Yeah.
You feel that? So that's the type of aroma.
Tilt rooms.
What it smells like. It's that what you
Tilt.
have on type of smell.
And it looked like what it smelled like, pure. That's why I got it in this plastic.
Oh, honey, it's rich.
Yeah, it's rich. And it's
It's
uncut.
I was about to say it's all there.
I ain't
It's
taking
all there.
nothing from it. All the way from Ghana. I get this shipped in from Ghana, specially made. And I only sell one for a reason, because I can't replace it. I don't want to sell nothing else. It's that good.
It is.
I'm not giving nobody no options. I'm giving you the best at the gate. I ain't trying to find nothing else for you. This is it. This is a winner.
So you guys can purchase at VMP Hair Salon, or once you go on that website, type in Regina Miller, and it's gonna pop up. You don't have to search, try to find. Just go on the website, search Regina Miller, and the perfume is gonna pop up again. All proceeds go to the Queen Victoria Miller Heart Foundation. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. Ma, you want to close it out?
I want to tell, yes, daughter. I want to tell everyone closing out to be intentional. Be intentional about you. Continue to show up for you when nobody else will or can. Stay intentional. I am an intentional woman, and that is my word for this video tonight. Intentional.
All right.
That's it.
Love y'all. Peace.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right. Well, that wraps up my video tonight, and thank you all for watching YouTube and TikTok tonight. God bless, and keep coming back for more.